Yo guys, what's up? It's Square here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing the 49ers 7-round mock draft if you haven't read the title already or looked at even the thumbnail. I mean, it's just an instant click now. You have notifications on, hit that bell, and you're also subscribed to my channel so you got notifications there. So you can subscribe down there. I mean, if you like this video, like it. If you want to comment what you thought about this mock draft, do so. It's pretty fun. So let's get right into the picks. Obviously, the 49ers did trade from around 12 to 3. Gave up a lot of first rounders. We all know. We know they're going to take a quarterback. Probably not Lawrence. Probably not Wilson. So let's see who they take. They take Justin Fields, quarterback from Ohio State. I think that it depends on what Shanahan wants in a quarterback. I think that Fields brings a lot of poise. He brings a lot of versatility, what he can do. But he gets stuck on one read sometime. He relied too much on his offensive line when sometimes they would get beat, take sacks, have bad days. Couldn't read a defense, especially with the Indiana game. That was bad. I watched film on that. I think Fields has got the upside to fit in a Shane. I mean, both. I feel like him and Trey Lance have really good scheme versatility in those words with Shanahan, at least, because they can both run really well. Read options there. You've got running. You've got that threat. You've got passing ability. More in Fields' arsenal, but Lance has got such a big arm. He just needs to work on the accuracy and location of the ball. But Fields is great. Lance is great. I just took Fields because I feel like he can fit in that Shanahan kind of mold. He's a great quarterback. He's got a lot of leadership to him. And, man, if he can just put it all together and especially be able to read a defense and start being able to know what defenders could be doing and not being stuck on one read. Because sometimes he would get stuck on Chris Olave and then result in sacks or result in him having to run for his life. So with their second-round pick that they kept, in my eyes, I had them taking Javonte Williams, running back from UNC. I know taking a running back this high, especially for the 49ers, where they're just like, running backs, 5th round, always. But he's got such a good game to him. He's my first running back off the board. I don't believe in first round running backs. I believe that they're rentals at this point because it's a committee. And the 49ers are the definition of a running back goddamn committee. Holy shit. But in a guy, he's 20, he's got a lot of he doesn't have a lot of wear and tear is what I'm trying to say. His body isn't that harmed. He's only 20. Mostert's at 30 at most, and he's still got that speed. But Williams brings that different downfield ability. He's got that hard nose. He's essentially a power back in a 5'10", 220 maybe pound running back, and that's basically what you get from Najee Harris. And he can bring a lot to this 49ers game, especially pairing him with Justin Fields, having a threat like Javonte, and then booting off of that with a fake run, and Justin Fields throwing a dime to like Ayuk or Debo, something like that. So now in the 4th round, obviously the 49ers gave up their 3rd round pick to the Dolphins. So now with the 4th round, they at 118 will be selecting Keith Taylor Jr., cornerback from Washington. A long, lengthy cornerback that can basically replace a Ahkello Witherspoon, maybe a Richard Sherman. But he's a little bit raw. He does give up a lot of touchdowns. I think that his technique needs to be refined. That's why he's a 4th round pick at this point. But you see the traits. You see what he can do. He has flashes on film that are great, especially with his ball skills. Tackling's not the greatest, obviously, but he's a long, lengthy corner. You expect a corner of shorter stature to be able to tackle really well. He's just got to put all of his traits together and really become a refined corner. But you do have time with that, at least. You have guys like Verrett still on the roster, Emmanuel Mosley, yeah. And one other I can't think of. But you don't have Richard Sherman anymore. He's gone. Witherspoon signed with Seattle. You bring in a developmental guy who's also 6'3" and big and stuff like that. So here at 156 in the 5th round here, the 49ers will be selecting Tommy Kramer, offensive guard from Notre Dame. I think that a guard upgrade is somewhere needed, especially here now with the 49ers. Kramer, a big boy at guard. You can play him left, you can play him right. I think that Tomlinson and whoever, I forget who they have at right guard. It's somewhere relevant, and you can upgrade him over upgrade him with Tommy Kramer, who has been a 3-year starter here there at Notre Dame. He's got strong hands. He's got that great technique, and he's gonna play alongside the guy who he was playing with in Mike McGlinchey, who's your cornerstone there essentially for your offensive line, because you brought in Alex Mack from the from the Falcons, but then obviously putting Kramer between those two is going to be really great, and especially with double teams. And then you have Lakin at left. Okay, he's not that bad. He's at a revival to his career, but Kramer, not a bad target here. A mid-level guy who can he can be a decent starter. You can put him right there and just maybe say like, you don't have to worry about you for like 2 years maybe. Still here in the 5th round, the 49ers will also be selecting Ernest Brown IV, defensive tackle, defensive end hybrid from Northwestern. Obviously, in his picture, he's diving for the ball because he's a go-getter, but he's got a lot of good talent to him. You could put him on the inside, outside, kind of like an Eric Armstead role. And I think that they need to replenish a little bit of this depth. Obviously, you have D Ford, and you have Ibukam, and you have Armstead, and then you have Kinlaw on the inside. But there's no one really underneath. You lost Kerry Hyder in free agency. You have DJ Jones, who's been okay out of Ole Miss, but he's not the greatest. I think that Ernest, I'm just going to call him Brown, before can play that 3 technique and have Kinlaw play the 1, or you push him outside and you bring Armstead inside. And you got a lot of versatility, and you also have D Ford and Nick Bosa. If they're both healthy at that time, I think Nick Bosa will come back stronger than ever before. But you got to upgrade a little bit. You got to make forward thinking moves, especially on this depth. Now that this roster is going to get even, it's going to become lighter without Garoppolo's deal, and you have a rookie quarterback. But then you also have other positions to pay, like Trent Williams got a huge ass deal instead of Alex Mack. There's still some cap things. So let's upgrade a little bit. Let's get a little better in the defensive tackle depth and edge depth with Ernest Brown IV from Northwestern. So this is the final pick for the 49ers in the 5th round. We're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. There's still a lot more time there. We take Cade Johnson, wide receiver from South Dakota. He is a burner at 6 foot. He gets past people. And oh my God, he's so good. He's so good. I think he was the best wide receiver on the board at the time, and I just didn't really see any other position that was really needed. Obviously, you brought back Kendrick Bourne, but how long is that gonna last? Having him and then Bourne. I'm talking about Cade and Bourne, Johnson and Bourne switch time, but then you also have Debo, who's a great slot receiver. Then you have Ayuk on the outside, and you've just got a lot of great talent. Especially you have guys on the depth chart like Hurd and what's his name, wide receiver. Shorter guy, Trent Taylor. I think he's still on the roster at least. Somewhere along that. Just getting a bunch of guys to add depth. And especially with this now more play action oriented by Shanahan now that he can do that without Garoppolo and more Fields. So here at 195 in the 6th round, the 49ers select Drake Jackson. Center out of Kentucky here. Developmental center. Has a lot of raw ability to him. He isn't a finished product, of course, coming out of Kentucky. Not every prospect's a finished product or like has a high ceiling, but he's got a decent ceiling, and Alex Mack isn't getting any younger. So I'm just bringing a center here to really learn under him and maybe become a possible starter. You never know. Taking a flyer on a 6th rounder. So with their final pick here in the 7th round, 231, they will be selecting Dalen Holmes, another edge rusher. Hybrid, you can do a lot with him. Notre Dame, he got some good production, but again, depth. Let's see how he can stick. Maybe replacing a D Ford later down the line, but taking a flyer, he's got some good traits to him. He's got a lot of good ability, very similar to D Ford, honestly, especially how he pass rushes using his hands. But just taking a flyer on a guy, and he was the best player available at that pick at that time when I made the pick, and the best on the board, shit like that. Okay, guys, that has been the San Francisco 49ers 7th round mock draft. I hope you guys enjoyed all those picks. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, do all of that. Hit that notification bell. And we will be coming back at you with the Falcons NFL 7th round mock draft later today. My name has been Circle D Square. I will see you in the next video in a few hours. Peace out. Bye.